And our third main topic is something that I brought up to you yesterday, Shane. I was talking about how James Cameron had done an interview and basically said, hey, if Avatar 2 bombs, then instead of me doing 47 Avatar movies, I'll wrap it up in just one more. And when I first heard this, I was like, you arrogant bastard. Like, so if this movie makes $3 and we all hate it, well, let me give you one more. But then I found out that I guess a lot of what Avatar 3 is kind of like how Kill Bill or Lord of the Rings was done.
It has to, yeah.
Yeah, it's already been shot, basically. So he'd give us a third film that would kind of tie up everything in a way. I'm sure he'd have to do some extra filming, like to add some scenes that would really close the whole chapter of the Avatar franchise. Honestly, this news for me, what it does the most is wants me to want Avatar to fail. I want to see a James Cameron movie that doesn't have big blue CG things in it. That would be awesome. So I want this to be successful because I want the box office to be successful and I want all movies to be good and successful. But man, it sure would be nice to get this dude to not spend literally the rest of his life working on this one franchise. I mean, to me, I've said it, and I still think that it is what it is. That all around what he's done, he is the greatest director, of this generation or of his generation, and he has, if we're using, as you were trying to do the other day in the Quentin Tarantino argument, if we're using empirical evidence or data, I mean, this guy has $2 billion movies, one almost three,
and one love his movies.
So people see him, people love him. A lot of them are actually good. They were really good at times. And like I was saying the other day,
most of them still hold up for sure.
Yeah, like even the Void or the Abyss, right?
Especially the director's cut.
Yes, right. The one that's not screwing with your screen and making it look like it's floating on you or whatever, which kind of ironically matches the movie. But I digress. But yeah, you go back and you check these movies out. Like I was telling you about Tarantino, I was looking at his filmography thinking, man, are any of these really like, damn, that's a good movie to me? And I really thought no. But with James Cameron, it's there like all the time. I mean, Avatar, I think when I seen Avatar, when it happened, I thought, damn, that's a good movie. Seeing it again, I thought kind of like, but this is 15 years later, so a lot of it has probably, it's just not the same. But that being said, I would like to see him get back to working on, doing something cool like The Last Action Hero or something like, or not,
True Lies,
The Last Action Hero. I love that movie so much. But like True Lies or something like that. And like changing the game in a different way. We always constantly talk about how when James Cameron makes something, it becomes an industry standard or it changes the industry in some sort of way. And I think that he's trying to do that in such weird, too inventive ways now that it's never going to change the industry truly. For example, in this version of Avatar, his big thing were these new IMAX cameras that he and IMAX developed themselves that are able to go really deep in the water but still able to capture 4K. Like, super cool, but where do you see us using this, moving forward, Shane?
Never. People are just CG it. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. So
the rest of your movie's CG.
Just like
but
Aquaman.
The water. Think about
Aquaman made $1.5 billion and they never were underwater.
Well, think about this. How much of Avatar is CG? 99%, except for the water.
Right.
That's the only part that's not CG. Exactly. I guess is the water.
Right. But in this, we need real water.
Yeah, we need it.
We're that's how we're
water.
That's how we're changing the industry. We're doing it in water. So what it really feels like to me is exactly what's happened to Tom Cruise, in my opinion. Which is like, I gotta best myself. But it's got so crazy that like you're in space now. Come on, bro. Like like, we get it. You're cool. You're capable. We love you, but you probably shouldn't be up in space just to fuck around, you know? So that kind of feels like where it's getting to me. So, yeah, hopefully we get to see Avatar not be as successful as we thought it would be. So hopefully James Cameron can wrap this thing up, and maybe one day, you know, my luck is it would do horrible. He'll make Avatar 3 and then he'll just retire. That's my luck. But
or he'll make Smurfs.
Right. Or even worse, Avatar 3 does great.
There you go. And then you want more. And we're like, dang it.
But yeah, Shane, you're hearing this. Tell us your thoughts. What are your thoughts on James Cameron and all this Avatar stuff?
You know, honestly, this just to me makes me suspect that he doesn't even have 4 and 5 written, or even close to written. You know, looking through the long journey, which is Avatar 2, you know, there's been so many times, like 2011, I'm making Avatar 2. 2012, you know, 6 months, I'll do the script. 2014, I got no script. I'm going to focus this whole year on the script. 2017, I'm still, you know, and it's just
there's
like,
no
but
way
now,
he's working that much on it that long, like full time, right?
I just don't think the ideas are there, and or it would come naturally.
So with all that downtime,
he wrote Aliens and Rambo 3. I think those are the 2 films at the same time.
Right.
Because the ideas were coming. When you know, obviously, if it takes you over a decade to write a story, there's probably nothing there to write. Yeah. So, you know, and I'm with you. You know, I think most of us just want any Cameron. He is a top tier director. You know, one director I would relate him to, even though I think Cameron is a better director in my opinion, but it's another Roger Corman alum, and that's Ron Howard. And that the fact that audiences leave those movies completely satisfied and going, that was a movie. You know, that's what movies are all about and why we go see them. Mm-hmm. You know, it's just they bring that, you know, that magic that old Hollywood was about. Yeah. It's still there.
Spielberg did that a lot
Spielberg,
too.
perfect example as well. Mm-hmm. So Cameron's with those level where, you know, no matter what, you're going to come out, you know, charmed by movies and feeling good. And, you know, I didn't hate Avatar right away. You know, most of watching it, I was kind of annoyed, and it wasn't until later when I was like, oh, yeah, this is a turd. But, you know, it's still comparative, still better than, you know, any other movies coming out. So Cameron still has the talent within him to make good movies. And, you know, I agree, you know, just this taking up so much of his life. And I think now it's so funny how, you know, Key and I, you know, before we did the show, we spent many years talking about movies, and, you know, Key always followed current news and I didn't. So I always asked him questions, and it seemed like every day I'd always ask you, how's Avatar 2 coming?
Right.
And, you know, and you'd always tell me something about James Cameron and how this is going to be the greatest film, or, you know, it was always very boisterous and, you know, very confident. Mm-hmm. And it seemed like in this last year, now that Avatar is coming out, it's almost like, you know, he's lost his confidence. He's already setting us up for a defeat, you know, because I don't know if anything's truly there to be made.
That being said, this is why I go back to the never bet against James Cameron thing, right? Because this movie could come out and do $2 billion and like be game changing, like you've seen CG but not like this, or so, I don't know, but it's possible with James Cameron, right?
I mean, that is true, but to me that's a fail. I mean, if the biggest thing is how much money it made and that it game changed computer graphics imaging for movies, okay, those are two things that I could care less about. So you know, again, all he needs to do is deliver us a good story with good characters, and the rest will fall into place.
That, or give me Glassesless 3D. You give me Glassesless 3D, I may be able to...
That's called a play.
Just accept whatever the hell you give me. Because, again, that would change the industry, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, honestly, I've been saying it for a little while now, for a couple of years, that... The hype train for Avatar has set sail a long time ago, man. Like people that care, I just don't think care anymore.
Well, when you go and you look back at sequels, like good sequels, they've always come out 2, 3,
maybe 4 or 5.
Right. But now look at the sequels that have come out 10 years after the original source material. Those are usually the worst of the worst.
Right.
Not even in terms of the series, but just in movies in general.
But then you got Top Gun Maverick,
That's
right?
Hey, there's always an outlier. And you know what? You know James Cameron's fuming over that. It's like, that was supposed to be me.
Right. Yeah, no doubt. For sure. But guys, yeah, you're hearing this information about James Cameron saying he'll shut the whole thing down and give us one more if it's not successful. What are you guys' thoughts on that? Are you guys still excited for Avatar 2? I'm very curious about how everyone's feeling because, like I said, the hype kind of feels dead to me. So definitely let us know down in the comment section below what your thoughts are on that.